You are looking live at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It's a battle of backup quarterbacks. Jake Browning for the Bengals, Carson Wentz for the Vikings. Both teams hoping they can deliver. And now live from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, where the Patriots chase back-to-back wins for the first time in 3 years, while the Steelers look to rebound after last week's disappointing loss. And live from Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville, where the winless Texans faced a must-win to save their season. And the Jaguars seek to end a 7-year home losing streak against their division rivals. And also live from Nissan Stadium in Nashville, where Indiana Jones and the Colts look to stay perfect against the Titans and rookie passer Cam Ward, who is still searching for his first NFL win.
NFL Today is sponsored by Jeep. There's only one. From the CBS Sports Control in New York, here is James Brown.
50 years ago on this very day, September 21st, 1975, CBS changed the way sports will be covered forever with the birth of the NFL Today, the very first live pregame show in TV history. The result? A groundbreaking experience that transformed the hours before kickoff into part of the spectacle for half a century. This show has been there for moments that define the league and the culture all around it. And today, as we honor the legacy of the NFL Today, it is only right that we do it with the man who is synonymous with its history, the very first host of this show. That would be the legendary Brent Musburger, and genuinely meant welcome home, Brent.
Hey, look at my guys. You didn't need to dress for the occasion. Come on. What are we thinking? This is throwbacks. Wow.
I know.
Huh?
Well, Nate said I look like Morgan Freeman. I think this is probably more. This is more.
You look good,
Samuel L.
JB.
Jackson in Pulp Fiction, right?
Well, listen. I want to shout out hair, makeup, and of course wardrobe for getting this right. We had to match the vibe, but we did want to look back to that time frame. I think we have some photos that we want to show everybody.
Ooh, JB. Look
In stripe. And got the mutton chops with the afro. JB, you look the same.
And only one arm will fit in that suit today, right?
And how about Coach? 1975, let's take a look back at what Coach was doing at that time. Oh,
Bill Carroll. Freshman year at NC State. I did have some hair back then.
Did have some hair, and you always had that chin, Coach.
Oh, yeah.
Always had that chin. What else we got? What else we got here? All right. Matt.
Brent, let's take a look at this picture, all right? This one goes back to what I believe is 1981. That would be January 4th, 1981.
Wow.
An NFC divisional round right there. I look at that hat, man. That is vintage. What happened to that hat? Do you still got it?
It's in a garage in Montana.
Okay.
Well, I found.
But I knew you were headed for the Falcons.
All right. We got this little hat right here. This is a special gift from all of us.
Falcon hat.
The Atlanta Falcons are indeed number one. It is great to have you back. I'm glad that hat
You still got that coat, Brent?
Yeah,
You still got that coat?
Oh, yeah, I've got that stuff stored out the garage in my Nate, I've still got all that stuff. I forgive you for losing that Super Bowl.
Oh, man, I'm sorry, Brent. I get it. It was
Starting off the
we
show.
all had a vested interest in that one. It was difficult, that's for sure.
Nate has done the job with some stylish coats that he makes a habit of giving out to fans when we're on the road. Can't wait to see what's going to happen in Kansas City.
That's right.
Next week, indeed, for sure.
Yeah. You guys have a
Brent,
great time.
Hey, it's a pleasure to have you. Absolute living legend. And without you, a lot of us wouldn't be here. So thank you.
Hey, Coach.
Yes.
You realize he still holds the record? 3 90-plus yard punt returns
All
in the
touchdowns,
National
right?
Football League.
All
This is my man right here.
Yeah,
all
I appreciate
touchdowns?
you.
Except for
2 of them.
Yeah,
What
2
did he
of
say?
them.
Matt, where did he go down?
I think, what was it, maybe the 2?
Yeah, something like that. You're a vault of knowledge.
Sorry.
No question about that. Hey, folks, coming up, live reports from today's games after the break, right here on the NFL Today.
The NFL Today is presented by Jeep. There's only one since 1941.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Week 3 of this young NFL season.
We welcome you to week number 3 here on the NFL Today.
Welcome to Week 3 in the National Football League.
Let's get right to the Week 3 headlines right here on CBS. And it is Week 3 in the NFL, and it's shaping up to be a fantastic early window of action across the league. And, folks, we've got divisional rivalries, some high-profile storylines, and, of course, the perfect man to get us started on our Sunday slate, that would be Brent. Take it away, Brent.
You know, JB, we have 5 backup quarterbacks going today. That's how many injuries have struck down starters out of 32 teams. And one game matches 2 of the backups, and it's my old dear friend, Jim Nantz, calling the game with Tony. Tony's going to get pressed into service here soon if these quarterbacks keep falling, Jim. I got to tell you.
Good point. It's a good point. Brent, it's so great seeing you back in the studio. Congrats on the Hall of Fame earlier this summer. And I just want to say real quick that when I came to CBS 40 years ago last week, I came into that very studio in the NFL Today, and on the back of the chair, a piece of masking tape that said, Brent, I had chills sitting in your chair, and I have chills having you throw it back to me all these years later. Great to have you back. On the backup quarterback front, we met with both of these guys, Browning and Wentz. What was the confidence level you saw in those two?
I think they're both very confident. I think Carson just got here 3 weeks ago, so there's a little bit less there. But we've already seen Browning. He's come in and showed that he's a very capable backup. I think this is Wentz's opportunity, though. He's got a good unit around him. The offensive line, I think, will be a little healthier today. So expect the Vikings to kind of get back into rhythm a little bit. But it's really about Wentz's nerves.
All right. JB, back to you.
Sounds good. And, of course, Jim Nantz always greets his audience by saying, hello, friend. We know that Brent Musburger says you're looking live, and mine is knock 'em alive, Jim and Tony. All right, folks, over in Foxborough, Massachusetts, Ian Eagle and J.J. Watt working the game between the Steelers and the Patriots. Fellas, how you feeling this morning?
Samuel, thank you so much. Looking forward to this one. We got Terry Bradshaw and Steve Grogan at the QB. No, I'm completely confused on the throwback, JJ.
I'm here with Burt Reynolds. I don't know if I can do a legitimate analysis of Drake May versus Aaron Rodgers with the mustache looking next to me, but we're looking forward to a good game. Football weather is at a perfect temperature. I think it's going to be 67 degrees and sunny. Just gorgeous day here in Foxborough.
All right, for Dom DeLuise, Burt Reynolds saying so long from New England. This is the dream of the 10-year-old version of me to send it back to New York and Brent Musburger.
Thanks a lot, guys. You know, it's hard to believe, but the Jacksonville Jaguars cannot handle Houston in Jacksonville, all right? This is a must, and I do mean must-win game for Houston, because if you go 0-3, since they expanded the playoffs to 14 teams, you're not going to make the playoffs. That's how desperate this team is. Let's go to Spiro Ditas and Adam Archuleta, who are calling the game for CBS. Welcome, guys.
Hey, Brent, absolute pleasure. Boy, I feel underdressed. That's a tough act to follow. But Arch, 2 teams here, as Brent just alluded to. One side, Houston, that is clearly feeling the urgency at 0-2 against the Jacksonville team that's 1-1 under this new coaching regime.
Well, I think Brent, he said it perfectly. You go 0-3, and it's tough. And I think for Houston, they do have that sense of urgency, not just for the win, but to get C.J. Stroud and this offense jump-started. Now, for Jacksonville, better start to the season, but you have to be disappointed with what I say letting one get away last week in Cincinnati. We've seen some good things from Trevor Lawrence, but he's got to take care of the football. They got a great running game, best in the NFL.
All right, we're going to hit the closet, Brent, and see if we can find any better clothing accessories here as we come back for the game coming up in just under 50 minutes' time as we go back to JV and the studio.
Spiro, thank you so much. And, folks, we've got Tom McCarthy and Ross Tucker standing by in Nashville, where the Colts and the Titans are squaring off. Hello, fellas.
All right, JB, thank you very much. We've got our Lydell Mitchell football ready to go. Burt Jones used to be the quarterback for the Colts. We've got another Jones and Daniel Jones. Ross has got his clip-on tie. How about this, guys? It just comes right off. It's off. It's on. It's perfect from the 1970s. What do you got, Russ?
Were ties this short in 1975?
I think
You mentioned Burt Jones, by the way. Daniel Jones is looking like Burt Jones so far this season. The Colts' new starting quarterback has been absolutely fantastic. He's really playing the best football of his career.
All right, not Dan Pastorini, but moving like Dan Pastorini is Cam Ward.
Cam Ward, the #1 overall pick. You know what? He's got a little bit of that flair for extending plays and chucking it deep like Pastorini did. He makes a big play every week. Excited to watch him today.
What a joy, guys. What a joy to be part of this. Back to you. Keep having some fun.
Hey, fellas, thank you so very much indeed. A lot of great matchups, of course, coming your way, but none better than the one that Brent teased early on, the battle of the backups in Minnesota.
Yeah, and I think Jake Browning, when you think about him, I think he's very comfortable in this system when you think about what he's able to do, and I think for Zach Taylor, he'll keep it pretty much normal. But I think on the other side, for Kevin O'Connell, he loses J.J. McCarthy. He had kind of a shaky first 2 games. Now he's going to go to Carson Wentz, the vet. And so I think the biggest thing right here is for their defense to have to make some plays in this game. I see Brian Flores turning up the heat on Jake Browning to try to create some momentum for that football team. Big game for Minnesota. Cincinnati 2-0, trying to keep this thing going.
Yeah, and I think about the Colts. Surprise 2-0 football team right now, right? I think everybody at the beginning of the season wouldn't have thought they would have come out the gates that they, the way the gates they did. But I look at Daniel Jones. I think he's played extremely well in those 2 games, throwing the football down the field. This was one of the things when he was with the Giants, there was not a lot of proficiency throwing the football down the field. I think the combination of Jonathan Taylor in the backfield, running the football, hitting some of those shots to his wide receiver threats down the field has been very helpful. But let's not forget about Lou Anarumo. Coach, you've talked about this the first couple of weeks, the defensive coordinator coming into the Colts and kind of setting the tone. Their defense has played extremely well in the first 2 weeks of the season.
All right, speaking of surprises, how about the Chiefs at 0-2? Big game tonight versus the Giants here in New York. Listen, we didn't expect the Chiefs to be 0-2 at this point in the season, but championship caliber teams, they know how to rescue their season before it slides too deep out of control. I know that Patrick Mahomes will always keep his teams in games, but let's give credit where credit is due. Other teams are getting better. Quarterbacks have improved, even within their division. And I know that they can pinpoint moments in each game where they let it slide away from them. We're talking about a touchdown or less for each loss in both games. And keep this in mind, Rashee Rice, he comes back in week 7. Xavier Worthy, week to week. So when he gets pass catchers back, this offense will look a lot different. It's not time to panic yet for the Chiefs.
Yeah, but the urgency has to be there.
For sure.
Brent, you said it about the Houston Texans going down there to Jacksonville. If you start 0-3, you've got no chance, right? No team since the 14-team playoff format has gone to the playoffs after starting 0-3. The urgency has to be there for the Chiefs. I think it will be there. I think they'll respond. I think they've got to find a run game.
Yeah.
They've got missing pieces on the outside. The ability to get Pacheco the ball kind of take some of it off Patrick, play good defense. They need a complete team effort tonight.
The divisional games early in the season, I think, have been the best thing the schedule makers have done. We saw what the Green Bay Packers did to the Detroit Lions. We saw what the Chargers did to the Kansas City Chiefs.
And then Detroit to the Bears.
And the Detroit to the Bears. And the problem with them right now is Kansas City had to come back and play the best team in football, the Philadelphia Eagles. Took them down to the last wire. I agree with you. I think they're fine at 0-2. I think they're going to get the receivers back. But they got to get Patrick Mahomes to play a little bit better, take better care of the ball, not try to do too much. And the defense has given up a lot of big plays, especially on third down. So I think they're going to be fine at 0-2. I agree with you about Houston Texans. I think this is a huge game for them.
And speaking of the Chiefs, I'll tell you what, don't be surprised if Russell Wilson and the Giants come out and they're playing ball, because offensively they found their rhythm last week. They lost to the Cowboys in a tough one, but this is not going to be an easy game for the Chiefs to win, especially on the road in New York.
You know, Coach talked about the first month of the season where coaches are learning their team, but the other side of that equation is they got to win. You said it's ideal to come out of the month of September with a 2-2 mark.
2-2 at the best. At the worst, I think you don't want to be losing. But I think the other team that right now has a chance to take a stranglehold on their division are the L.A. Chargers. The L.A. Chargers are playing Denver. That could be 3-0 and beat all 3 of their divisional opponents.
You know, Coach, you mentioned divisional matchups early. Let's look at Thursday night. We had a great football game.
Yeah.
Now, Miami makes 2 critical errors in the fourth quarter, okay? The roughing of the punter and then the interception. I still can't believe that Tua didn't see that linebacker lurking right there, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great play when you think about it. And I think, again, the roughing the kicker, you think about last week for the Denver Broncos. They win that game, but they get a leverage penalty on a kick that the guy made that he's never even made a kick that long in his career.
Right.
That game was over, but one more on-time down, they lost it. So the kicking game has become a huge part of what we're talking about. 64 yards for Dallas. So a lot of returns last week. So I'm telling you, the kicking game is back.
Coach Mike McDaniel had the Fish looking good. They played hard. All right, folks, stay tuned for some of the NFL's greatest moments. That, when the NFL Day today, that is, it returns right here on CBS.
Time now for Pregame HQ delivered by Domino's. The NFL 50 years ago was pure classic rock. Just like there were legends on the stage, we had legends on the field. It was touchdowns and turntables, big hits and big riffs. So grab your headphones and let's dig through some crates, because my guy Kyle Brandt is ready to drop the needle way back in 1981.
Welcome, and what a time to be alive, man. 1981 is truly gnarly. MTV, IBM, CIA, McEnroe won Wimbledon, the president's a movie star, and all the NFL players are becoming the real rock stars, man. In fact, I'm gonna give the Triumvirate a little timeout, and I'm gonna set the tone right now, because we are gonna walk the shelves and talk some rock. Oh, that is rad. Come on, man. We got more records than Mark Spitz in here, and it all starts right here. The Raiders, the reigning champs, just won the Grammy. Snakes, Ghosts, Post, Rollers, and the owner is like Bowie meets Ozzy. If you like a commitment to decadence, Silver and Black Sabbath, rock. Now you gotta have this. You gotta have this. You want a great record? 4-0 on the big stage. Last year, I went to the theater 7 times to see Empire. The Steelers have built an empire, and like Vader, they embraced the dark side. Now, cool band here, man. Super cool band. In fact, team of the future. For decades to come, the Oilers are gonna be titans of rock. I'm gonna shoot you straight, though. A lot of people love this band. I just don't know if I see it. Bill Walsh, very gifted producer, but the front man, Montana, he's never won anything, he's never done anything. I don't know, but I know this. These guys are gonna win plenty. These guys rock. 2 straight years in the playoffs under Coach Knox. I got a feeling about the Bills. Next couple of years, they're winning the whole thing. Deep Purple. Deep Purple, hello, incredible, I love it, you need it, learn it, keep on cruising, move over Mohawk, manager coming through, thank you. Classic band, man, classic. Kind of franchise you can introduce your kid to and say, son, these are the Baltimore Colts. They're not going anywhere. You know what's everywhere in 1981? I'll tell you, man. Dallas. I have no idea who shot JR, man, but I know who replaced Roger Staubach, and Danny White rocks. But listen here, man, this is important. The purest form of rock in the 80s is a live show. I saw Meatloaf live last night. Absolutely insane live show. But you are looking live at my favorite show. It's got the greatest frontman in football. Musburger is Mick Jagger.
Here's Brent Musburger.
How about that?
Come to think of it, I'm the only guy in the room older than Jagger. Jumpin' Jack Flash, baby.
Yeah, shout out to Kyle Brandt, and also Human Head Records in Brooklyn for allowing us to shoot that there.
How do you do on his picks there, Brent?
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think?
Spot on.
It's all right.
It's all right.
Okay. All right.
Well, let me ask you about all the moments that you did it. I want to talk about the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears and William the Refrigerator Perry. I mean, when in the backfield, kind of set the tone for that. And also, you think about that, it was Buddy Ryan. We talked about Bill Walsh. Buddy Ryan on defense. We all try to emulate the Bear defense.
Right. Let me tell you about the fridge.
Okay.
Because it leads to proposition betting in Las Vegas. At Caesars.
Right.
They put up the prop prior to the Super Bowl. Will Refrigerator Perry score a touchdown? And it was a big price. Big price. And a lot of bettors, especially from Chicago, came in and bet that the fridge would score.
Yeah.
I've always told Mike Ditka, listen, Walter Payton should have had a touchdown, but you knew what your buddies were going to do here in Vegas. He laughs, laughs. And they cash when the fridge scores. I have to tell you about that defense. I can make the argument, and I know athletic ability has improved. That might be the greatest defense I've ever watched.
100%.
I have to tell you.
Yeah. I mean,
even for a guy like Matty Ice, it would have been trouble attacking that D.
It would have been
unbelievable.
Trouble. Let's talk about the offensive side of the ball. Bill Walsh was in that piece right there. And for me, I was a guy who played the majority of my career in systems that were based on the West Coast principles. And you still see it across the league now, whether it's in San Francisco, Minnesota, LA, Green Bay. You were at the game where Dwight Clark had the catch. What was that offense and what was Bill Walsh like?
That was unbelievable. You know, the one thing, he ran the ball to get it down into scoring position.
But this catch.
It's unbelievable, that catch, okay? You see the goalpost right there?
Yes.
See the goalpost?
Yes.
That's on a
You
place,
thought
Montana.
You thought he was turning it away.
He moved it. He took the goalpost.
Took the goalpost.
That's right. It went up to his place. Eddie DeBartolo moved it.
What
So you go out, you have a cocktail, you salute Dwight Clark.
There you go. You know what I love about certain plays in the past? They've had this ripple effect that has lasted with NFL and NFL fans forever. I think of Roger Staubach to Drew Pearson and the big-time catch. And afterwards, when asked about it, he said, I closed my eyes and said a Hail Mary. And that quote basically rebranded the last-second throw as Hail Marys.
True.
This is one of those moments that really had an impact, not just on this team and where they went, but the rest of the NFL.
The one thing I remember about was cold as hell up there in Minneapolis.
Oh, it's beautiful.
When I think about some great plays as well, too, let me know when it's going to happen here. Darrell Green running across the field to catch Marcus Allen, ingrained in my, and he was the fastest player in the league for 20 years at cornerback.
Exactly. And, you know, and the one guy who stressed speed was Al Davis. Okay.
That's right.
Nobody.
He scouted speed.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That was the important thing to Davis when he put the Raiders together.
Talk about impact on games. Talk about Lawrence Taylor. What he did, he redefined it.
How much time do you have,
Let me tell a family anecdote.
Yeah, please.
Because I covered the Bears so long as a newspaper man, and then I was a Butkus guy.
Yeah.
And my son, Blake, Butkus couldn't hold a candle to Lawrence Taylor. So Taylor came into the NFL today, and I was around him, and I watched him. And Bill Walsh put together a game plan, a playoff game, and they blocked him on every play. They had a pulling guard from the offside, and Walsh went after him, okay? Now, 49ers did it, but it was because they had to block Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
He was that good. He's the greatest linebacker ever.
No question.
Hey, here's a short setup here. Walter Payton, Sweetness. Take it away.
Oh, my God, Sweetness. So he comes from a small school drafted by the Bears, and his lawyer was down Mississippi. And Jim Finks was the general manager of the Bears. They couldn't reach an agreement. I was working the 10 o'clock news, so I called the lawyer and I said, is there any chance we could fly Walter up for an interview? Yeah, sure, I don't know why not. So we brought him up, and I put him on the late news on the CBS-owned station, BBM. Jim Finks wouldn't speak to me for 6 months, okay? Because he said, it cost me a lot of money when you brought him up here. People saw how he was a great guy.
Yeah,
and, you know, Jim Brown would come into the NFL today every now and again, and his favorite running back, other than himself, was Walter Payton.
Yeah.
I mean, Payton was some great running back.
You know, in the 70s, you talk about when you were there, and I grew up in Pittsburgh, and it was the Steelers, and you worked with Terry Bradshaw. I mean, what stories did he share with you about that team? Because that was a pretty special team. I mean, it really, really was.
Terry was a character, one of a kind. I've told you guys this story before. We were in Philadelphia. Bradshaw had been eliminated. Roger Staubach and the Cowboys had been eliminated. They're sitting on either side of me, and the snow is out. Everybody knows what's about to happen in Philly. Here comes the snowball. And one lands on the set, almost hit Phyllis. And which of those quarterbacks do you think was climbing up into the stands to get the fan? It wasn't Terry.
It wasn't Terry.
It was Staubach. United States Naval Academy. And
So, Brent, you've seen it all. I'm curious, from your perspective, could you have ever imagined the popularity of our game becoming what it has become, given when you guys started 50 years ago?
Yeah, no, man, I could not have. It's the #1 entertainment in this country, and it's not close.
Hands down.
It is not close, okay? If you look at the highest rated shows on television at the end of the year, Super Bowl's always #1, but then there's other games that are up there. And already we've seen massive rate. People People like the escape. That's why they go. And it's great entertainment.
Football.
So let's go from old school to new school. We got Drake May sitting with us. Drake, it's Matt Ryan. Can you hear me there in New England?
Matt, you got me?
I gotcha. Hey, I want to start with your uniforms. We're doing a little throwback special up here at CBS, and I see you guys are doing a little throwback as well. What do you think of the mustache, number one?
How about that? You look good, baby. You look good. Not as good as
you look good in those
clean reds
throwbacks.
do,
What's your
but
thoughts on your throwbacks?
I love them. I love them. Being out here in the red, it's better when you get a win in them. You know that. So just coming out here and try to get going early and have some fun today.
Hey, talk to me about Mike Vrabel coming into the building and what you have seen from him 2 weeks into this, 2 games into this season with him, and just kind of the culture that he's setting there in New England.
Yeah, he sets the tone. He sets the tone for the team, and we're trying to piggyback off him and building the identity. And it starts another opportunity out here today. So love the energy he brings, and you got to be on all cylinders with Coach.
So you're going second season. I always felt like in my second year I started to get a better feel for my routine and kind of understanding what I needed to do to prep. Right now you're going back into the locker room, right? There's 30 minutes to kick off. What do you do when you head back into the locker room at this point? Listen to music, chill out. What's your routine this time of the day?
Yeah, just you'll get around the locker room, talk to some guys, make sure we're doing all right, kind of get them going, and then look over a couple more of the play sheet, and then we'll play in the locker room and we'll get out of there.
All right, you're going against this steel curtain defense. What do you got to do to get after these guys this afternoon?
Yeah, we got to try to run the football. Got to start with running the football and then try to stay kind of in good down distance, and then from there just try to score touchdowns in the red zone and, like I said, get things going early.
Drake, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck this afternoon, man. Go play great.
Sweet. Thanks, Matt.
You know what? I really need to turn this off because Chris Collinsworth just texted and he said, Matt, can you please return my outfit? NBC, isn't it? For Sunday Night Football. Unbelievable. Hey, folks, coming up, the guys are ready indeed with their predictions for Week 3. That's when the NFL Today returns after this.
On CBS News, Texas.
And look who is here with us, Jimmy the Great. It's about time you all got here. Can I get you anything?
Let's call it analysis. But I want some handicapping.
You see that movie about the girl with the number
10.
That's it.
The Steelers? I knew you'd find a way to do it. What's the number likely to be in that game?
I don't know. Pittsburgh will be favored then.
By a lot?
Well, what does a golfer say before he hits a golf ball?
4. Wait a minute.
Well, you said that. Dallas will win in a high-scoring game.
A high score, the Greek says, and he means it. You got to check for everything there.
Just forget about the checks. Without McMahon, the Bears can't beat me. What were the odds I would be back?
You were favored all the way, big guy.
All that and more coming up on NFL Today.
Well, for years, the Greek's Corner was a linchpin of this show, folks. With his insight and personality, Jimmy the Greek made his game predictions part of the fabric of this NFL Sunday and every Sunday. So we keep that spirit alive as Brent joins forces with our guys to make some picks.
Thanks to CBS, Matt Ryan, for saving the Greeks board.
How good is this?
Oh, it's wonderful. Now, let's start with you handicapping the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots.
Yeah, listen, I thought this one, as I went through kind of the list, I thought it was one of the most difficult games of the week to pick. I think this is going to be a close ball game. Quarterback, we just talked to Drake May. I'm impressed with this young man. I think he's going to develop into a really good player. But today, you got to give me the experience. I think Aaron Rodgers, late in the game, the experience, all of that, I think he comes out on top. I think offensive line, you look at what New England has done. Pittsburgh has not been able to run the football. People have gotten after Aaron Rodgers a little bit. I think offensive line goes checkmark to the New England Patriots. They've been a little more solid. Certainly in the run game. Pittsburgh has not run the ball at all to start the year. New England better in the run game. Defensive line. Listen, New England's been leading the league, getting after the quarterback, but I just think this group from Pittsburgh, the amount of talent that they have, the front seven, the TJ Watts, those guys, they're going to get after it. I give them the checkmark today. Special teams, New England. Returned a touchdown last week. I know Chris Boswell's a very good kicker, but I give the edge to the Patriots. Intangibles, you got a Super Bowl winning quarterback. You got a Super Bowl head coach. I give it to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They ultimately win this game. Very, very close, but I give them winning that game.
All right. So let's get Nate up here.
Well done, brother. Well done.
This is the game of the day.
That's right.
2 unbeaten teams, Nate. How do we look at the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles? Rams been on the road now, 2 games in a row.
Yeah, listen, I love both of these squads, and I love both of these quarterbacks. So this was a tough one for me. And there might be a little bit of bias in here, but I'm going with quarterback Matt Stafford. Listen, his age and experience, it has to stand for something. And when it comes to his arm, it's still dynamite. So he can grip it and rip it with the best of them, Brent. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I know you're picking up what I'm putting down. All right, now let's talk about the running game, though. You know, this running game is something that is very aggressive week in and week out. They control the ground and they control the clock. And when you look at Saquon Barkley, I mean, this guy can do it all. I mean, similar to Travolta and Saturday Night Fever. This dude is dancing all over the field. I mean, he is a stone-cold savage. So when it comes to the run game, I'm going to give that edge to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Also, their quarterback's a pretty good runner. Eagles have not thrown for a touchdown yet, but Jalen Hurts can beat you on the ground.
And he's managing the game perfectly.
Absolutely.
And when it comes to the actual victory, as much as I want to go with the Rams, I'm going with the Eagles. I mean, they are as good as it gets. And that offense, when they get rolling, they are far out. You dig?
Indeed.
All right.
Looking for 3. Thank you,
All right,
Nate.
Coach, what do you got?
Talks like old school. Wait, let's get the coach up here now.
Come on, Coach.
Here is a big AFC West matchup. How about the Chargers? 2-0, leading the AFC West. Where are the Chiefs? 0-2. But here come the Denver Broncos, Coach.
Yes, the Denver Broncos are coming, but the LA Chargers, is there a harder quarterback than Justin Herbert right now? I mean, there really isn't. This guy's got 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's running with the football. Offensive line, come on. Jim Harbaugh, first pick was alt. So he's an offensive line. He starts right there with the offensive line. For running game, J.K. Dobbins. I like the Denver Broncos there. Defensive line, they got 7 sacks in 2 games. I like the defense of the Denver Broncos. Special teams, Dicker the kicker, right? It's Dicker the kicker. You got to just give it to right there. But intangible. So here's my intangible. You talk about the Chargers able to take full command of this division. This will be 3 divisional games if they win this game. The Denver Broncos, right now, I'm Sean Payton. We lost to these guys twice last year. We lost last week on the last kick that we probably made a mistake in trying to get leverage and try to block that kick. Everyone thinks we're done and over with. And we were supposed to be the team that was going to challenge the Kansas City Chiefs. So right now, we are going on the road. No one's picking us. It's the great LA Chargers that we're going against. So yeah, intangible, make it personal, Sean Payton. I like the Denver Broncos in this game.
You know what pleases me so much? The Greek and I used to beat around the bush. Chargers are favored by 3 points, baby.
You had to do hand signals. Come on, man. No hand signals anymore.
You know what? As Brent walks back to the desk, hey, fellas, we saw it firsthand. Brent had no script.
That's right.
Nothing to do. He just ad-libbed with substance in everything that he had to say.
Beautiful mind, Jay.
Yeah, no question about
mind.
it. Beautiful and a deep mind. And Brent, let me just say, you are and always will be the DNA of this show that you got started. We are so honored to have you here, and thank you so much that you agreed to be a part of this. God bless you and continue success in all that you do. But your closing thoughts,
JB,
please.
Thanks for inviting me, and thanks to everybody at CBS. If you'd have said to me after my last game in Colorado, when UNLV blew out Duke, and you just come up to me and said, Brent, you're coming back in about 45 years to CBS, I said, are you effing kidding me? Guys,
we're lucky to have you back.
Nate,
you are.
Coach, you need a haircut. Yeah. But whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, let's give it up for Brent.
Studio.
Woo! Thanks, guys. Thanks to everybody. Wonderful.
All right, folks, you know what? Coming up next week, we're taking it on the road. Here's a look at what's going to be happening.
Thanks, Dave. I appreciate you. You're fantastic.
I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. Live from Orchard Park.
You got to do this more often.
We're the best of friends.
He said we needed to do this more often. Well, we're doing it more often.
On the road again.
It's like a tradition unlike any other here.
Doing the Lambo Leap. We are back on the road again.
I can't wait to get on the road again.
Indeed, that is right, folks. The NFL today is on the road again, folks. We can't wait to be in Kansas City with the Chiefs Kingdom. Tune in next Sunday, 12 Eastern, right here on CBS. Up next, an interview with Viking star receiver. That will be Justin Jefferson. That with the NFL Today returns right here on CBS. All right.
The NFL Today is sponsored by Jersey Mike Subs. Be a sub above. FanDuel. Play your game. And by Jeep. There's only one since 1941.
As part of the league's Crucial Catch campaign, the Patriots surprised 13 women who are battling cancer with a day of pampering at Gillette Stadium, also giving them tickets to an upcoming game.
Phyllis George, Jane Kennedy, and Irv Cross redefined football coverage with access, personality, and journalism that felt new for its time. Their feature interviews pulled fans deeper into the game than ever before.
On the NFL Today.
With these pioneers, the biggest names in football laughed, opened up, and let their personalities shine. It was fresh, it was fun, and at times, strikingly honest.
You know, I enjoy sex as much as Joe Namath. Only I do it with one girl.
Phyllis, Jane, and Irv offered a combination of access and humanity that would set a new standard for sports television.
Touchdown!
There is simply no question about it. Irv Cross, Phyllis George, and Jane Kennedy certainly paved the way for many of us, and no doubt about it, someone who's carrying that torch excellently forward is our two-time Emmy Award-winning colleague, Tracy Wolfson, who caught up with Viking star Justin Jefferson just a few moments ago.
Well, JJ, you're trying to rebound after last week. Carson Wentz takes over. What have you seen from him this week that gives you guys confidence coming in?
Yeah, you know, he has that veteran experience, so he knows how to really run the offense and really knows how to keep everybody pretty organized. So, I mean, we have confidence in him to go out there and do what we, game plan to do. It's just all about executing today. So I feel good and I'm ready.
Whenever you're out there, there's going to be a lot of double teams, but they're without their star cornerback, Cam Taylor. Britt, how can you take advantage today?
Yeah, I mean, that's really nothing to really put, too much key focus on. It's just going out there and just being us and being ourselves. We feel like, the last 2 weeks, we've been hurting ourselves. So as long as we're going out there with that high energy and with that high focus, we'll be good.
Speaking of high energy, the matchup everyone's watching is you and, of course, your friend Jamar Chase. And he likes to talk a little smack. And, of course, this week he said he was going to do the gritty in your house if he scores today. How do you feel about that?
We're going to see. We're going to see.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. You know it's 1975, so who knows? Maybe we'll see one of them do the bump or the hustle, guys.
Hey, Tracy with the bump or the hustle, that's for sure. Listen, playing with backup quarterbacks, it does, you have to approach the game differently as a wide receiver, understanding that you might have to get out of your breaks a little bit sooner depending on the grasp of the offense your backup has. I guarantee that the quarterbacks will be focusing on hitting their number one guys, Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson.
Kevin O'Connell's done magic the last couple of years with backup quarterbacks coming in right now, so it's going to be important for him to get Carson Wentz in a comfortable position. And I would see Brian Flores on the other side, bringing the blitz and the pressure to put it on Jake Browning.
Who can run the football?
Right.
This game comes down to who can run the football, very simply.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, folks, it is time to play your game your way with FanDuel. The new Your Way feature lets you control the odds and set the lines exactly how you want them to be. So to my guys, the question is, this is Your Way parlay.
Talking about running the football, how about J.K. Dobbins today for the Denver Broncos, going against his old team, the L.A. Chargers. He's in his one-year contract, looking to prove himself, coming off a big week last week. 59 or more rushing yards today for J.K. Dobbins.
Shout out to Jimmy the Greek, who was way ahead of his time. Let's go with the Texans-Jags game. I'm going with Nick Chubb going for an anytime touchdown. Even though Jags have played well against running backs in the first couple of weeks, I like what Nick Chubb is doing and how he's looking.
All right, you know who's not a backup quarterback? That's Aaron Rodgers. He knows how to throw the football down the field. DK Metcalf, I look for him to go for over 67 yards today. These two are starting to find their stride. They're finding their rhythm, finding their stride, finding their timing together. I think he has a big afternoon in New England.
Yeah.
Wow, you know what? I'll try to keep from weeping on this one, Bill, but there's no question about it. This has definitely been a day to remember. It's not every day that you get to celebrate 50 years of something this special. And this show has always been about the game and the people who love it. what a treat it's been to celebrate this milestone with all of you. So here's to 50 more.
I think that right here on CBS, we will have the finest coverage from beginning to end of this NFL season.
This is the NFL today.
I want to welcome you to Canton, Ohio.
Most of all, thanks to the audience, because if you like it, then we like doing it.
Touchdown!
Can I just kick this thing in the back right here and get it going?
I don't believe it. I'm scared because I think it's going to hurt, but it really doesn't hurt.
You ever been to Cincinnati?
No, never.
Guess what, son? You're going. There you go.
Fired up. We've got stars all over the place.
Practice tape, preseason tape. This is good stuff.
Round two.
I'm Brent Musburger, and we certainly hope you have an enjoyable afternoon watching the NFL Today on CBS.
The NFL Today is presented by Jeep. There's only one since 1941.
And welcome back to the NFL Today. And now we take you out to the sights and sounds of the game between the Bengals and the Vikings. Let's take you out to Minnesota with our announcers, Jim Nance, Tony Romo, and Tracy Wolfson.
You are looking live at U.S. Bank Stadium in downtown Minneapolis, where today the Cincinnati Bengals at 2-0 take on the 1-1 Minnesota Vikings. Yes, it's Throwback Sunday here on CBS. Back in 1975, the Vikings were playing outside of downtown in Bloomington at the Met, but we're inside one of the great stadiums in the league. And yes, we're celebrating what it looked like back in 1975 for these two franchises. They had plenty of stories to tell here in Minnesota. Bud Grant had his hotshot quarterback and the MVP of that year, Fran Tarkenton, and of course the Purple People Eaters. Meantime, Paul Brown's upstart Bengals had their young quarterback in Ken Anderson. As far as our team goes, well, for our team, Tracy was just a young cub reporter, having been born there in Rockland County, New York. And this guy right here, hello friends, Tony Romo was still 5 years away from joining us on this planet. Partner, it's great to be with you on this special day.
Great to be with you. And by the way, we may have a picture of somebody else 50 years ago. The young, great Jim Nance. Let him see it. Look at that hair.
No, we got to block that high school picture, man. That was my senior picture. Yeah, I wish I still had it. Let's talk about this battle of backup quarterbacks as it's being billed. Browning and Wentz.
Huge battle right now. I mean, whoever plays better is probably going to be the difference maker in this game. I do think the key in some ways is just to be balanced, get the ball out of their hands, completion game. Just get the ball out of the quarterback's hands. Don't allow them to make the big mistake that hurts the football team. Both these guys have a great opportunity in front of them, though.
And can they find their star wideouts? That's going to be the question today. How will they get the ball in the hands of the likes of Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson? Of course, those two go back a long way, even before their LSU days. Chase coming off another monster game last week. Jamar, what will he do against his old buddy Justin Jefferson? Story inside of this game. It's a good one. It's coming up. Cincinnati and Minnesota next on CBS.
North Texas Jeep brand dealer today.
Looking live at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today, the Cincinnati Bengals take on the Minnesota Vikings. The Bengals will be led by quarterback Jake Browning, who steps in for star quarterback Joe Burrow, who went down last week with a torn toe ligament. He will face quarterback Carson Wentz, who joined the Vikings just a few weeks ago. Today's matchup is highlighted by two game breakers who might be the difference makers, Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. That's all coming up as the NFL on CBS continues after this.